other cheek, and I understand sort of the biblical reference. I understand the mentality. But it's gotten us nothing.
I mean, he's not wrong. This speech given at a Turning Point USA gathering has rippled cause for concern as he said the words of Jesus, his very command, should be ignored. Because in his words, it's gotten us nothing. And between the initial reaction of, what in the name of Dumez did I just see, and staring off into the nothingness trying to process the shock, I came to the realization that he does, in fact, have a point. Jesus gave the Sermon on the Mount in which he contradicts everything the audience had ever learned. You have heard it said, eye for eye and tooth for tooth. But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also. And if anyone wants to sue you and take your shirt, hand over your coat as well. If anyone forces you to go a mile, go with them 2 miles. Give to the one who asks you, and do not turn away from the one who wants to borrow from you. So what is happening here? Back in Exodus, Moses created this law as a means to measure justice. Life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, bruise for bruise. And the Romans had a similar law of retribution. This was to protect from excessive judgment so the crime matches the punishment. Fair is fair after all, and this would be the norm of the people during Jesus' life. But Jesus came to flip everything the world believed. Just like when he said, the law states do not commit adultery, but I say if you lust after a woman, you've already committed adultery. It's not enough to have the outward appearance of never lusting, because what Jesus is concerned with is the heart. An eye for an eye is easy. What Jesus is asking for is much harder. Let's jump over to Luke 6, where the same words are applied. Instead, though, Jesus says, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. If someone slaps you on one cheek, turn to them the other also. If someone takes your coat, do not withhold your shirt from them. They expect an eye for an eye, but the response of grace, love, and mercy will confuse them, take them aback, because the world says retribution, but Christ says love. So Trump Jr. isn't wrong. Following the commands of Jesus never got the nation anything, because it's not about us or what we can gain. This isn't about how unfair it is playing the game of t-ball for half a century while they're playing hardball and cheating. It's about the kingdom of God, an inside-out, upside-down kingdom. To be first, you must be last. To be great, you must serve. It's about loving your enemies, unequivocally and unconditionally, with the grace and mercy God showed us when we were his enemies. Because if it were about fair is fair or playing the same game, then we would be condemned for an eternity, because that's what's fair.